job was to leave the game better than I came into it. You think Cheryl Miller is resentful for me that I had a league to play in? No, she's being the mentor that she is, and she's supporting and loving and sitting courtside cheering on Juju Watkins. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA.
Candace Parker, the legendary three-time WNBA champion and undeniable queen of the court, just dropped a fiery takedown of Commissioner Cathy Engelbert that hit harder than any crossover she's ever thrown. This wasn't polite criticism, it was a full-on verbal slam dunk loaded with truth, passion, and frustration. Parker didn't sugarcoat a thing. She went straight at Engelbert's leadership, leaving fans stunned and league officials scrambling. No filters. No hesitation. Just pure honesty from one of the game's greatest voices. For months, people have whispered about these issues, but Parker finally said what everyone's been thinking, and she didn't miss.
Candace Parker ended up dropping some big facts on First Take, man, talking about resentment on younger players from older players and retired players. She had a great dialogue.
Stephen A. Smith, never afraid to stir the pot, sat down with Candace Parker on ESPN's First Take and wasted no time diving into the most controversial topic in the WNBA right now. He tackled the unspoken tension head-on, the rumored resentment surrounding Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise. Are the league's veterans feeling pushed aside? Is the spotlight shifting too quickly? Smith asked the questions fans have whispered about for months but few have dared to voice publicly. With Parker sitting across from him, the conversation turned into a masterclass in honesty, perspective, and raw truth, the kind of dialogue women's basketball has needed for a long time.
When we look at the WNBA, whether we've speculated about resentment or whatever it is, ultimately it comes down to the fact that there were an abundance of women in the WNBA doing tremendous work on behalf of the WNBA and the game of basketball, and you just sense that folks were feeling an absence of appreciation for what they had done and what their collective contribution was to bring the WNBA to where it is now and where it evidently is going. Can you speak to that collective frustration that some may have been feeling, and whether or not you think it's something that's being overcome as you all thrive and move forward and continue to promote and uplift this?
And that's when the conversation hit another level. While Cathy Engelbert has stumbled her way through public relations, offering half-hearted statements and missing key chances to uplift the league's brightest new star, Candace Parker stepped up and showed everyone what real leadership looks like. With poise, clarity, and fearless honesty, Parker didn't just defend Caitlin Clark's influence, she magnified it. She reminded the world that real progress in the WNBA doesn't come from silencing new talent, but from celebrating it. In the silence of uncertain leadership, it was Candace who spoke with purpose, passion, and the powerful vision the league has been waiting for.
Has grown so much, and it's just been amazing to watch. When you put it on television, the numbers don't lie, and visibility matters. Being able to have slots on ABC and ESPN, I know a couple years ago was the first time that the NCAA tournament was put on ABC, and we saw what the viewership looked like. So just looking at the growth of the league, the style of play, now there's being expansion teams and all that stuff. So as a fan, as a lover of the WNBA, I'm excited.
It honestly surprises me, Parker said with the kind of calm confidence and depth that makes you wonder why she isn't running the league herself. People always ask if I feel resentful about where the WNBA is today. My answer? Absolutely not. My goal has always been to leave the game better than I found it. Do you think Cheryl Miller was resentful that I had a league to play in? Of course not. She's been nothing but supportive, loving, and encouraging, and I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and every woman in the WNBA. That right there is the voice of a true leader, someone who understands the heart of the game and the mission behind it. While Cathy Engelbert fumbles with direction, Parker's words radiate vision, humility, and purpose. She embodies mentorship and empowerment, proving that the WNBA's strength lies in women lifting each other up, not competing for the spotlight, but expanding it for everyone.
Like Candace Parker, look, you shouldn't feel that way. The same way she brought up the idea of Cheryl Miller supporting her, that's how everybody should be. But it's more so of they want to paint the narrative that it's a white and black thing going on, and now that toxic energy is spilling over to people who don't even watch the games. So now they feel like they are a part of the league just because they know or feel like they know what's going on with the race thing. Like, cut it out.
If you are enjoying please subscribe. Let's take a moment to discuss Cathy Engelbert because she's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons lately. Remember that bizarre comment she made about Caitlin Clark possibly getting hurt? When asked about the Clark phenomenon, Engelbert couldn't even give the talented rookie her proper recognition without immediately shifting focus to other players. "No league's ever about one player," she said, then added the most tone-deaf remark. "That player could get hurt or whatever. Are you serious? Your league's biggest star, someone who has attracted millions of new viewers, and you casually mention that she might get injured." That kind of comment shows a disturbing lack of awareness and leadership, leaving fans frustrated and bewildered. And it gets even worse. When directly questioned about the racist and toxic behavior directed toward players like Caitlin Clark, Engelbert completely fumbled her response. Instead of taking a firm stand against racism, misogyny, and harassment, she offered a vague answer about rivalry being good for the league. The WNBA Players Association had to publicly criticize her for failing to address the serious issues their players face. This is the person supposed to lead women's basketball into the future. The commissioner tasked with protecting and promoting the league's biggest stars. Honestly, it's hard to see how her leadership inspires confidence or respect.
When questioned about the racism and sexism some of the players in the W were facing, she compared it to the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry as no big deal. Actually something that the league wanted to see.
And when questioned about the racism and sexism some of the players in the W were facing, she compared it to the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry as no big deal, actually something that the league wanted to see. Contrast that with how Candace Parker demonstrates true leadership and mentorship. When Stephen A. Smith inquired about the frustrations some veteran players might be feeling, Parker didn't dodge or make excuses. Instead, she responded with clarity and purpose. "Let's keep it about basketball." Those 5 simple words encapsulate a powerful philosophy, focusing on the sport and its integrity rather than distractions or controversy. Parker emphasized that when the league centers on the game, it can grow in a meaningful way. "That's my thing. When we do that, we're able to really develop the league and what it stands for." So, I think the WNBA as a whole is in an amazing place. Her message is clear. Keep the focus on basketball, on the players, and on the competition. While Cathy Engelbert has made questionable comments about injuries and has failed to address serious issues like racism and toxicity, Parker prioritizes what truly matters, the sport, and the players' experiences. She continued, "Rivalry and conversation are important, but I want to keep them within the lines of the game. That's what's most important." Parker's approach shows an understanding that excitement, drama, and compelling storylines can exist without descending into toxicity or chaos. Her emphasis on integrity, focus, and respect for the game offers a blueprint for leadership that could help elevate the league. In contrast to Engelbert's missteps and awkward responses, Parker exemplifies the kind of leadership that inspires trust, unity, and growth.
Everybody has a Twitter finger. Everybody can have reach to, the WNBA and make comments. But really the key is let's keep it about basketball. That's my thing. And when we do that, then we're able to really grow the game and what it represents. There are some talented players that have been in this league. But now, because of visibility, listen, I still know the Dominique Wilkins. I still know, all of those players, the Dr. J's and all that stuff. I don't think they're not salty that MJ came along and grew the game. I mean, that's what it is. And so I think that the WNBA as a whole is in an amazing place. Now it's about business to me. It's about taking care of business and making sure. I would like to see, and I'll say this in the CBA, I would like to see more roster spots because we can't have 11 or 12 women on a team. You got to lean into the player growth and player development.